Welcome back to Project Podcast, everybody. We've been on hiatus for a while. I'm Cam.
I'm Connor, and as usual, or as per our last season that we did way back when, the purpose of this podcast is to just watch some movies, for the most part movies we haven't seen, and just kind of discuss them. In the future episodes, our theme for this season back is horror movies, but today we are doing a quick little special just to announce the podcast, give a little recap of what it's about, and talk about Comic-Con.
Yeah. So the main purpose of this episode will be a little Comic-Con special, recap on all the big news. There's been some movie and TV news, I guess, that we can discuss.
Yeah.
And just jumping into Project Podcast. This time, instead of watching a bunch of random movies, we thought we would divide it up by season, and that way we can, make it like a little bit cohesive.
Yeah, exactly. A bit more of a cohesive project. And we're also planning on having them come out more fast. Frequently. Yeah, that's the word I need.
So
more fast.
I think we'll be posting them weekly.
Weekly, and then maybe some time in between seasons while we figure
out what the next one is going to be.
Exactly right, yeah.
Nice.
But so Comic-Con just happens.
Yes. And
you said you have a list of...
Oh, yeah. So what I want to do first is, before we get into the bigger stuff, we can do rapid fire on some of the smaller pieces, you know, just some quick thoughts. Are you excited for it? Would you watch it? Stuff like that.
It's a good idea.
So the first announcement was the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves movie.
That's right, I do. I forgot that. So I am a DM. I've played a couple campaigns before, and I love D&D, and I love that Stranger Things uses inspiration from D&D, but it's just dumb to make a movie off of it. I feel like no D&D... I mean, maybe it will attract people to play D&D, but I feel like no person who's actually played it is like, oh, hell yeah, we got to go see the D&D movie.
Well, and I don't know, the director said something about how this was going to be like a game changer for fantasy movies, like it was breaking the mold or whatever. And I'm like, it looks pretty generic.
Yeah, it looks very generic.
And how exactly is this a D&D movie?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe you could make it kind of like Jumanji or something, where people actually playing D&D get sucked into the game somehow.
Yeah. Or even if they had I don't know, maybe their abilities, they all had the dice, and then you could see them roll, and then
that's a good idea.
One of them will get a 1 and you'll be they'll just get destroyed. But yeah, it just seems like a
natural 20.
Yeah. It just seems like like you said, really basic movie
that they just slapped the D&D name on for recognition.
They did have the owlbear, which I told you was they made such a big deal about it in the trailer because it's a big beginner monster that a lot of people fight in their campaigns. They're oh, it's the owlbear, whoa. But it just seems somewhat less special when you're not doing it in the actual game.
They've got mimics in there too.
Yep.
All right, so the next is the National Treasure reboot sequel. I don't know, it's a TV show on Disney Plus. National Treasure Edge of History.
I didn't know it was a TV show.
I
didn't finish the trailer because I had no...
It wasn't even really it was more of a teaser. It was
an announcement teaser or something like that.
Yeah, there was some voiceover, and there were just some pans across a room, and then the back of the main character, and she turned to look at the camera, and then title card. So
I feel like there's not enough lore in the National Treasure universe to divert to something else other than Nick Cage, you know?
Yeah, and I don't, as far as I know, Nick Cage isn't involved.
Yeah.
But the side guy is back. What is it? I don't even remember the character's name.
It's been so long since I've seen those movies.
I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out just to see how bad it is.
Yeah. It could be all right.
I
mean, it is just... They should have named it something else, you know? It's just it's modern day Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones for kids.
Yeah, just an action adventure about history. So I think... I mean, maybe... obviously the thought, not maybe, the thought was they gain more attention with that name. But I wish they just made something new.
Or like an actual sequel with Nick Cage, like a theatrical release sequel. Like, I don't know, the Disney Plus
those
things.
movies were good. They were fun.
Yeah,
Like they're not the greatest, but National Treasure is pretty sweet.
It's a good background movie, you know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's a good thing to just throw on sometimes.
It's not like heinous, you know. I'm not watching it being like, I can't believe people like put this out.
To me, this feels like a half step, you know, just to see like they're like testing the waters with National Treasure, and if this series does good, maybe they'll make a movie.
Yeah, I can see it. What else we got on the list?
So He-Man Season 3
Don't care.
on Netflix. Don't care at all. Me neither. They like completely changed up the art style.
Though. Oh,
I watched like
really?
Yeah, it's like 3D animated now.
But it continues off the story of the 2D animation. Why would they do that?
I don't know. But I think Kevin Smith is still behind it. I watched a little bit of the first season and just didn't. I just don't really care.
Yeah, I feel like that's not something that's easily approachable without nostalgia. Back when there was like 4 TV shows on air.
yeah. When all the kid shows were He-Man, Transformers, and Thundercats, and G.I. Joe.
Yep.
And then the next is 2 pieces of video game announcements, I guess. There was a Batgirl trailer for Gotham Knights. And LeBron is in Multiverses. Yeah. That's just so funny to me.
Yeah, LeBron is actually hilarious. It's just I can't picture myself. That seems like one of those fake mods that you would get on the Switch, you know? Like, oh, haha, I'm LeBron James. But no, he's a legitimate character out there.
It's free to play, so
yeah,
maybe check it out.
I don't know. It looks like an iPhone game.
It does look like a mobile game.
If you're going to play a fighting game that's like platform heavy, why would you play anything but Smash?
Exactly. They're not going to outdo Smash.
I feel like the only people who are playing it are like content creators. And if I met someone who was like, oh yeah, you should fucking face off against my Superman, I'd be like, eh.
Yeah, can we just play Smash instead?
Yeah, exactly. What was the other game that you said? Oh, the Gotham Knights Batgirl. Yeah. That is she gonna be the only character who actually has like a Batman style like way of traversal? Because
that's what I was thinking. Like, is she gonna be like the Batman? Her gameplay is just gonna be like Arkham Batman.
If that's the case, nobody's gonna want to play anybody else.
I'm just gonna. I was thinking a trailer the whole time. I'm like, why would I not play Batgirl the whole time?
Yeah, instead of having that weird like cosmic jump ability with Red Hood, and you're just like, what?
And Robin, I can use the Watchtower teleporter field to make.
And he travels around the world on his Fortnite glider.
Yeah. Oh god, this game's gonna be atrocious.
Yeah. Kind of a fall from grace because I love those games. You really love the original Batman
Arkham City is gonna be one of my favorite games.
I played Asylum. I played Night. Right.
I
never played Arkham City. I've never been able to play Arkham City.
Arkham City is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. The story is so good. I just replayed that. It's so good.
Hell yeah.
That new Suicide Squad game, they're saying does take place in the Arkhamverse.
I think that's going to be a really fun game.
I also think that's going to be a fun game.
We should play that together. I call dibs on Harley.
Okay. There was no Suicide Squad news, which I was a little bit surprised about.
Yeah.
I think that game keeps getting delayed.
Yeah, I think it looks promising. I'm actually excited about that game as opposed to Gotham Knights.
I agree. I think it's a good idea, like,
to fight the Justice League.
Yeah, the Justice League is all the boss fights.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
At least that's how I'm imagining it. That's genius.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I want to fight like the Flash and
Green Lantern.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Green Lantern fight is going to be sick, I think. Yeah, I'm excited for that game. So I don't know if this was a movie or TV show or something, but there was they announced a continuation of the Gremlins franchise.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It was like Return of the Moguise, Night of the Moguise, something like that. I don't know.
I don't hate it. I don't really care though.
Yeah, I'm not really invested in the Gremlins.
The first one's good.
The first one is good.
Steven Spielberg, right? Isn't it?
I don't actually know. I think he might have produced it. I think it's what's his name?
Oh no, Joe Dante.
Oh, I actually don't recognize that name too much.
I thought Spielberg. I bet he produced it.
Yeah, I bet he produced it. But yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not saying his name. I don't know why I thought that. Well, we'll say a hard maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I agree. Oh, Secret of the Moguise is what it's called. Oh, is it animated? Oh.
Oh, 3D animation.
Interesting. I don't know if this is... Oh, same director, Joe Dante.
Huh.
Interesting. That's going to be like, I'll watch the trailer, and that's when I'll make my decision if I'll watch this movie or watch the show or not.
Yeah. It's probably a good call.
We had a new trailer for the Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the trailer.
I mean, it's striking against the legacy that was built.
You think
by
so?
Tolkien. Yeah. I think it's pandering more. You know.
Okay. Well,
that's what a lot of people have issues with. Which I'm not like. Obviously, having a diverse cast is great, and you want that. But I see why people are angry, and I like can also a little bit annoyed where like it's just a totally diverse.
It's not something they actually care about. Like,
yeah, it's not something they actually.
Like...
Yeah, it's like you could write that in, maybe like I don't know, but like you're just like taking over, something that literally created fantasy. You know, like. I don't know. Was D&D or?
I think I saw
first, or was Lord of the Rings first?
I actually don't know. I saw there was a lot of positive reactions from this trailer, though. Like I saw one headline that was like, it actually makes. Like it seemed so like epic compared to the Peter Jackson films, and this is going to be the most expensive TV show ever at $1 billion. That includes the marketing and everything, but still, it's the most expensive TV show ever made.
I'm sure it will look great, but you know, I don't have high hopes.
I think I'm definitely gonna watch it. Like
I think I'll. I don't know. It's Lord of the Rings, so it's hard not to.
I feel like the concept is interesting though, like with all
the rings,
all the
power,
different rings and what they do. I feel like that's one of my favorite parts of like the Dark Souls games. It's just like collecting all the rings. I feel like rings that give you powers is such a cool idea.
Yeah. I don't know. I want it to be good, but I can see where people are criticizing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Clerks 3.
Clerks 3, yeah.
Clerks 3. That I think, I don't know.
Do you think there should be any more Clerks movies, or do you think it just should have stopped at the first one?
Well, I'm not gonna say that there shouldn't be, because like I don't know, Kevin Smith was talking about how he like all the Clerks movies are, or he writes what he knows, right? Like takes situations that's happened to him in real life and just like changes the names for the characters. So like he was talking about how the first Clerks movie, like he was trying to paint a picture of what life behind the counter was like.
Yeah. And
then the next movie was kind of just building on more of his experiences. And then now with the new one, it's like Randall has a heart attack and decides like, oh, I've done nothing with my life. Like I like movies so much. Like let's make a movie. And then they're like shooting a movie in the convenience store. So like,
hell yeah.
It's like, Kevin Smith just had a heart attack, and like you can see like how that's played into in the characters, right? And to me, being like a fan of all the like how they made Clerks, you know, like this is the second indie movie to ever be bought at Sundance, like so it's got
do you know the first?
It was a movie about some lesbians. That like
and that was the first one, and then Clerks was second.
Yeah, it was at the exact same Sundance. Like they bought, it's called like, it's not called Big Fish, it's something about fish.
First indie
but
movie to.
So I like all the like trivia and behind the scenes about them making Clerks as an indie movie, and in the trailer like there's things that they show from Clerks 3 of them shooting the movie that's like all the stuff that happened to them while making Clerks, which I think is like interesting, but it makes me honestly less excited to see it now, like because I know a lot of the stuff that went down.
Yeah.
So like I bet you I could tell you exactly how this movie is gonna go.
Yeah. No, well hopefully it's good.
Yeah. I will definitely be seeing this movie.
I'll watch that, yeah. I need to watch the second one. I don't think I ever finished the second one.
The second one is pretty good too.
I watched a lot though. I watched Mallrats, I watched that, I watched Dogma, Chasing Amy, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. That one's good. I love that one.
That one is good.
I think
Clerks 2
that
is
was the
the last
perfect
one.
like conclusion to those characters.
I agree. Clerks 2 isn't bad though, I will say.
Does Clerks 2 come out after Jay and Silent Bob?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he kind of stayed away from that like View Askew universe until recently with the Jay and Silent Bob reboot movie.
The animated one?
It was like there was a sequel.
Didn't they have an animated one though? I feel like
there was an animated Clerks show. Oh, and there was an animated Jay and Silent Bob movie. You're right.
Yeah, I think I have brief memories of watching that.
Where they're Blunt Man and Chronic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's based on the Blunt Man and Chronic comic book
that's right.
that he wrote.
I forgot about that. Hell yeah.
So I guess that does take place in the canon. If like, because Ben Affleck's character in Chasing Amy wrote the comic book for Blunt Man and Chronic. So it takes place in the universe.
It has like that like Chasing Amy like type universe where it's like they're connected movies but not really.
I think the only thing that connects them is Jay and Silent Bob. Like Jay and Silent Bob are just in all the movies.
Yeah, true. True.
Yeah. Next we have John Wick 4 got a teaser trailer.
Obviously excited for that. That's gonna be fucking even it like it's just gonna be awesome. Like no point in even going further than that.
You know exactly what you're gonna get, and you know it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and you're gonna walk out and be like that one scene where he fucking like beat the shit out of that guy with whatever, and you're like that was fucking sick.
This was actually supposed to come out on the exact same day as The Matrix 4, but then COVID happened and a lot of things got delayed. I just think it was interesting that 2 Keanu Reeves movies that were the 4th entry of their franchise were going to release on the exact same day.
I guess that was the 4th Matrix, wasn't it? Man, that series had a great fall from grace.
It just keeps plummeting.
I've heard so many bad things about the new movie. I like don't even want to watch it. Isn't it like it's like 2 hours, right?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. And then last up is there's a new Walking Dead miniseries with Rick and Michonne coming back.
Oh, Michonne's in it too.
I don't really care about Walking Dead. I'm not gonna watch
watching this. I think maybe season 2 or season 3.
Me too.
And I tried reading it a little bit.
I also read like the first 6 issues.
Yeah, not for me.
Not me neither. All right, that's it for our quick
the quick rounds,
which didn't seem very quick.
What big announcements?
All right, so I've split this off into DC and then Marvel. So we'll talk about DC first because there's way more Marvel stuff to talk about than DC.
Black Adam. Can we talk about that first?
Yes, Black Adam. Let's talk about Black Adam.
If he's actually evil in it and doesn't become an anti-hero, I feel like I'd be more intrigued.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, why? They should have just made him the villain for the Shazam movie.
I'm hoping that he's actually like evil in this movie.
Yeah,
like he fights because they did the Shazam trailer too. So
yeah.
They'll connect it some way.
Maybe. I bet it'll just be in the end credits or something.
Yeah,
because it seems like this one, the Black Adam movie, takes place in the past because the Justice Society is in it. But you know what? They have the like.
Is that something in the past? What is? Could you explain those guys to me?
Okay.
I don't know anything about them. I just know like every time I see them, like that's like is it like police kind of like Captain Marvel type deal?
No. So basically, there's the this is pre-Crisis on Infinite Earths, the golden age of comics, right? So these are coming out during World War II. They were mostly sending. Well, a lot of them were being sent to soldiers. During World War II, right? So the Justice Society was kind of like the Justice League of the Golden Age comics, right? It's like you got the original Flash, Jay Garrick, the original Green Lantern. Oh, I'm blanking on his name. I don't know. He's like.
It's not
Hal Jordan. Yeah. He's the second one, but his it's on the tip of my tongue. It's like he's not even really part of the Green Lantern Corps. His ring is like magic, and it doesn't work on anything wooden. It's Alan Scott. Green Lantern. Yeah. I think. And then
Alan Scott, you're right.
Atom Smasher, who his ability is that he can grow really large, and Dr. Fate and Hawkman and Batman and Superman appear a little bit in it. But then, so when the Silver Age comics roll around, that's when you get like Barry Allen Flash, Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, like the more like modern,
the ones that we see
interpretations,
more,
like the more popular ones. And then when Crisis on Infinite Earths happened, it was kind of established that all the events in the Golden Age comics was like Earth 2. Mm-hmm. And then everything in the Silver Age of comics was Earth 1.
Okay.
And then Crisis on Infinite Earths kind of like merged the two, or like established the multiverse itself, right? And then like Earth 2 has its own like set of comics and stuff. Like this Earth 2 is interesting because like the Batman ages in real time, and like he dies and stays dead.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I do want to read those comics. Those sound interesting.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So yeah, the Justice Society is going to be in Black Adam.
But what was tell me about the golden helmet dudes.
Oh, that's Dr. Fate.
That's Dr. Fate. I thought there was like multiple of them. It's just one dude.
Well, yeah. Well, so I actually don't know what the Golden Age origins of him are, but from what I've watched in Young Justice, basically it's like the helmet is possessed by this like one of the most powerful sorcerers ever. His name's Nabu, and whoever puts on the helmet becomes like the avatar of Nabu. So he's like controlling them basically, and it's like Zatanna's father gets trapped with like wearing the Nabu helmet because like he's also a powerful sorcerer. So yeah,
interesting.
That's like
interesting.
Basically, like when he puts on the helmet, Nabu is controlling him until he takes off the helmet. So they're kind of like trapped by Nabu, and then like the person wearing the helmet is like aging in real time while like not having control over their own body.
I think I want it to be good. I don't know how the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson casting pick has just always been weird to me.
Well, this is also like
because has he done more serious roles? Because I feel like if he's gonna like, I don't want to have like it doesn't look like he's gonna be funny Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson from the trailer, but you know.
Well, apparently this has been like a passion project for him for a while. Like it's been announced that he's been Black Adam for like 7 years now. Like, he's been trying to get this movie made for a long time. So like, I don't know if he really is as passionate about it as like he's saying.
Yeah,
it could be cool. But I agree with you. Like he needs to be like a full-on villain, or else it's gonna contradict his character. But I'm mostly excited to just see the Justice Society.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
I think it will be really cool.
What did you think about the Shazam movie announcement or trailer?
The first one is okay. I like the director.
I enjoyed the first one. I thought it was really good. I mean, it's more lighthearted. But some not lighthearted in like a bad way. I feel like it's lighthearted and different because there's so many lighthearted superhero movies out there that just kind of get lost to time. You know, like all the Ant-Mans and stuff.
Exactly.
But that one felt more fun.
Yeah, I feel like it's a different concept than you're used to. Like of like the kid that can become an adult and he's still a kid, but he's just an adult. I feel like that's just an interesting concept. Yeah. That you can get behind.
This one should be all right.
Yeah. I'll watch this movie. Yeah, I don't really have that much else to say about it because
is that like really all the how many what else was announced for DC?
Well, there was the Riddler Year One comic
that's gonna describe the Riddler's backstory from the new Batman.
Yeah, and the actor who played the Riddler in the new Batman is writing it. Based off of the backstory he came up with his head while he was portraying the character. The art looks really cool.
Yeah. I hope
I'll be picking it up for sure. I think I'll be picking up the books. Cool. October 25th is when it comes out.
Damn.
And then another comic book announcement was Spawn Batman.
Nice.
Written by Todd McFarlane, I think, and Greg Capullo is going to do some art, I think. They're both involved. I don't know in what capacity. I'm sure it's that, but that'll be cool too.
Yeah, it could be cool.
Because there's another...
The best Spawn incarnation still is the Mortal Kombat Spawn.
Yes.
After watching the show and like the 10 minutes we watched of the movie, which we should do on this
agree.
podcast.
I agree.
The beginning credits, all I remember was gave us aneurysms, the amount of flashing that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So there needs to be more good content for Spawn up there.
I agree. There was also another Spawn Batman comic that they had in the 90s that has never really had a re-release, and they are going to re-release it before this comes out, so be picking up that too. Yeah. Harley Quinn Season 3.
Oh yeah, I'm coming excited out soon for that
in August.
I think that show, maybe it's not underrated, but like I felt like people who don't give it a shot, you're like, no, just watch it. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, the trailers make it look like generic and annoying and cringy.
Even I'll be honest, even this third season trailer, I was kind of like, oh, that didn't look like.
Yeah, but the characters are all so good.
Yeah, they are. It's a really good show.
It's a good show.
I think really just genuinely the trailers don't really represent it well.
They got to get better trailer makers.
I'm excited for that one though.
I'm excited for that one.
I was hoping that they were going to do that because it felt like, obviously I don't know how popular it is, but like I was anticipating just the last season to be like, that's it. It was kind of like a cool, shot in the dark, like Flash. That was like something that people really liked, but wasn't big enough. But I guess it is, so that's good.
Yeah, and then I'm also happy that they are making a third season of it because it was originally on the DC universe, like it was streaming.
It's on
that.
HBO now, right?
And then when HBO Max came out, the DC universe thing kind of got dissolved into HBO. So some of those, I'm glad that they're still like picking up shows that were exclusive to that.
Yeah, definitely.
They did that with Young Justice as well. Like they did a exclusive season on the DC universe, and then they did one for HBO.
Neat.
There's a Sandman show coming to Netflix. I haven't read the books.
Live action or
live action.
Interesting.
I haven't read them. I want to. They look really good. They look really crazy.
Okay.
But
I'll check that out. Maybe.
It's just disappointing that it's on Netflix, like even if it is good,
it's on Netflix.
They're going to do 2 seasons of it probably and then cancel it, 2 or 3. They're not even going to get to finish it because Netflix sucks. So
I'm surprised it's coming to Netflix and not Disney Plus.
HBO.
Oh wait, what?
Sandman by Neil Gaiman. It's a
like
Vertigo
Spider-Man?
publication. No. He's like the incarnation of like dreams and stuff. It's a cool book.
So it's like Sandman, like the song. Mr.
Kind
Sandman.
I really don't know. I haven't read it. I do want to read it.
I thought it was Spider-Man. Okay.
No.
I was like, that's interesting.
It's written by Neil Gaiman.
Is it Marvel?
No, it's Vertigo.
Vertigo Comics.
Yeah, the art is interesting.
Okay.
I'll
check it out. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. It's just disappointing to me that it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's a pretty acclaimed book. It's on the list. For sure.
Yeah, okay. Well, now that the show's coming out, it'll probably be removed from your to-read list.
Yeah, and be read. And then the final piece of DC news was that there will be no more entries into the Snyderverse. They will no longer be making any Zack Snyder related stuff.
So what is the universe? I thought Shazam was part of that universe.
Well, we don't really know until this Flash movie comes out, which there was nothing about.
So are they going to make it because of all the issues with the actor, you think? Or do you think it'll just always be like, oh, it's coming, and then at some point they'll just be like, yeah, fuck it. Like,
I don't know. I'm sure they'll release it eventually if Ezra Miller can...
Ezra Miller, that's right.
Stay under the radar, let the buzz go away, kind of. But they said that he's not going to be returning as the Flash after this, and he's in every scene of the movie. So they are in every scene.
Well, they literally just said they're not making any more Snyder ones, but if the Flash movie comes out, he is in it.
Well,
Unless they do like Flashpoint.
That's what the rumor is it's going to be Flashpoint. There's been some.
I'd be down for Flashpoint.
There's been some set photos of Ben Affleck's Batman and Michael Keaton's Batman are going to be teased. So, like, it is... I think they are doing Flashpoint.
Nostalgia.
Remember how you like Michael Keaton Batman?
Remember these Batmans? No, come to this Batman.
But that's why I'm going to go see it, is for Batman.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to go see... I don't know if it is Flashpoint. Because I've never been into... Because recently... Not super recently, but you watched me get back into comics a bit more. Mm-hmm. And I read Flashpoint for the first time, and I was like, oh, Flash is actually kind of a cool character.
Yeah, they do Flashpoint really well. You should read Flash Rebirth as well, because when we were talking about Infinite Crisis earlier, spoilers, Barry Allen Flash dies during the events of...
Doesn't he do it, like, to kill Doomsday or some shit?
The Anti-Monitor.
Yeah.
And then Rebirth is like
not Doomsday. Yeah. I don't know who else said Doomsday is the big fucking beast.
Mm-hmm. So Crisis on Infinite Earths came out in 1986 maybe, and then Barry Allen stayed dead for like 20 years, didn't come back till the mid 2000s, and Flash Rebirth, and that's a really good story too.
Okay.
And that kind of like, I don't know, from the Flash Rebirth to Flashpoint was like Jeff Johns' Flash run. So it kind of like if you read Flash Rebirth, you can like see him planting the seeds of like Reverse Flash killed his mom, you know, and like.
So if any of our listeners have not read any Flash comics, Flash Rebirth,
yes, Flash Rebirth
Flashpoint is good ones.
Yes, very good.
And then you can get deeper into it, like anything else, right? You can read Into the Spider-Verse,
you can be a completionist,
and then you're like, oh, good, and then you could read all of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yes, exactly. So, I guess that's it for the DC news. All right, here we go. We're diving deep into the Marvel. There's a lot here.
Dang.
So, first they had a Marvel animation panel. And the main things from that were there's a I Am Groot series coming to Disney Plus. It's just a bunch of shorts featuring Baby Groot.
I'm about that. I like shorts.
Yeah.
As long as it's is it like an anthology?
Yeah, I think it's just a bunch of different shorts about Baby Groot.
Anything that shows off good animation, and like typically when it's short like that, like the whole purpose is to be like, look how good we are animating. I'm so about. I love that.
Yeah.
Kind of lame that it's Groot.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Minions. It's like
or
on
Baby
that
Yoda.
level. Yeah, or Baby Yoda. It's
clearly
like,
just made to sell the merchandise.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks funny. And continuing with the MCU, there's What If Season 2.
I'll watch it. I'll 100% watch it. I watched the first season. It wasn't what I wanted it to be, but it was still cool. Like I wanted it to be like more. Every episode was some wacky shit, you know. Like
it was pretty. They
what if Hulk was Wolverine? You know?
Yeah. They're just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
But so apparently they showed an episode of like another Captain Carter episode, and it was like a Winter Soldier version of her story, I guess.
Yeah.
So that could be interesting. Maybe like, because she is with Steve, you know, and he's in that Iron Man armor. And what if Steve is
$10? All right, this is my prediction.
Yeah.
Jim Halpert's gonna be in this season, guaranteed.
Oh, you think so?
Guaranteed. It's gonna be even if he's not in it, it's gonna be based off of his likelihood.
Yes, that would be awesome.
I have a feeling like
he's gonna make a Mr. Fantastic.
I feel like
appearance.
A big reason the characters that they chose for Doctor Strange were all like ones that are like people even like not so obscure where like if you were super caught up with Marvel you'd be like, oh, I know about Captain Carter from What If. It's not I know about Captain Carter from my own knowledge. So I feel like they'll continue to do that. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
That's my biggest my big 2 cents. Jim Halpert in season 2.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
John Krasinski, right? Yeah.
So, and then the next thing was Marvel Zombies is getting their own show. It's set in that same universe of the What If.
You've read the Marvel Zombies?
I haven't actually.
Really? So this one I've read that you haven't.
Yeah. Doesn't Spider-Man like rip off his own skin at one point? Something crazy like that?
There's a lot of crazy shit. They do it well where like I know Spider-Man uses like his tendons instead of like his spider webs, and then like he eats Aunt May and and MJ.
I did see that.
And then like he kind of becomes good,
but they're like, just so take it over by the zombie.
Yeah, and then they like go through all the universes and are eating everybody. I think The Walking Dead dude.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
So that's getting its own show, and they said it's going to be TVMA. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm about it.
I guess they're going all out on that.
Cool.
And then, so I think this is also going to be in that same animation style, but Spider-Man freshman year.
Yeah. What do you think about the animation style? It looks, and okay, so you're making a video on rotoscoping. It kind of looks a little bit rotoscoped.
You're right. Actually, it does look rotoscoped.
Like,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I don't think it is, but it has like that like art style to it.
Yeah, it's a little uncanny for me. Like,
it doesn't fit that.
Like,
that's good.
Some of it, is really cool. Like when, like in the Doctor Strange episode with all the different like demons and stuff, like that looked cool. But like some of the shots of the people, just like it's just a little uncomfortable. You know, there's something about it.
I think it's funny. Who plays the Watcher?
Oh, the guy that is Commissioner Gordon in the Batman,
and the guy from Westworld.
Yes, it's
Well, I feel like people know. But I think it was funny how they started making the Watcher look like him, like towards the end of the season.
That's a good point.
Because towards the beginning, he looked like more, like, at least from what I remember. Maybe I have that wrong in my mind, or maybe the filter of like wherever he was. But like, I think it's funny that they made him look like him.
That is funny. I like that the Watcher like has a place in the MCU now. Like, yeah, I don't know. He's not really.
I feel like he's gotten more popular over the years. Kind of like, because I know there's like a huge. You can go dive deep in the wiki and find like gods on gods on gods. Like this is the superior god of whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like kind of, what is it? Is he a celestial? Is that
no, I think he's just his own like race. They kind of like change up his power set for the What If show. But like, I'm pretty sure the Watchers are just like a race of aliens that never interfere. Like they just watch and chronicle.
There's multiple?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different Watchers.
What? I didn't know that. Okay, interesting.
And then there's the theory that Stan Lee is a Watcher, and like that's all of it, like why he's in all the movies is because he's like watching everything and just chronicling it and can't interfere.
Don't they have that? Didn't they find that in like Fantastic Four? Like didn't like Sue Storm die or something, and they went to a universe and they found Stan Lee, or it was maybe a different writer. I don't know. I've watched a lot of dumb Fantastic Four stuff on YouTube.
So with the Spider-Man freshman year, I guess Charlie Cox's Daredevil is going to be in it. So
his appearance in Spider-Man was very good.
I'm glad he's coming back.
He was good. That was the only good. Or actually, I need to finish The Punisher because
I also haven't watched The Punisher.
I watched the first like 3 episodes like twice, but I've never gotten past it.
I hadn't watched the 3rd season of Daredevil or The Defenders or any of the other ones really, but I watched all of Daredevil this year. And the 1st season of Jessica Jones. And that 1st season of Jessica Jones is actually good.
I really, really liked it, and it made me buy all the comics.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I need to rewatch it again.
It's worth rewatching. And apparently, well...
I remember really liking it, but that was a long time ago.
We'll get into it. We'll leave Jessica Jones in the back of your head when we get deeper into the announcements. But yeah, that's what I'm excited for in the Spider-Man freshman year. They also announced that it's already going to have a season 2 sophomore year. Cool. Which will lead directly into Homecoming.
It's Spider-Man. They know it's going to sell. Yeah. They know it's going to be watched.
Okay. Oh, and then the last piece of animation news from the animation panel.
X-Men.
The X-Men 97. Coming out next year.
Never watched it, but I love X-Men. I fucking love X-Men.
It's hard.
And the theme is sick, so, you know,
the theme is awesome. Like, I want to catch up for this new season because I've seen a couple episodes of it here and there,
but it's kids
and it doesn't
old,
exactly hold up.
It's old and it's strictly for kids, right? So like the combo like is kind of like, you know, 1-2. Like if it was old, sure, or if it was just for kids, sure, but it's both.
Yeah. So, but I hope this is cool. I hope they kind of update it a little bit. It's supposed to be a continuation, I guess. So.
I'm about it.
Me too.
And the same animation style, I assume.
Cool. Yep. And the entire cast is returning.
Really? That seems like a lot, is it not?
I guess so, but
There's a lot of X-Men.
there's a lot of X-Men. I guess they were saying that like a bunch of like newer characters that were like created after the show like are gonna be in it. Like Deadpool, Bishop, Cable, Nightcrawler. I think
was that like 99 that like Cable and Deadpool then?
I'm not exactly sure. Deadpool does make a brief cameo in one of the episodes. Like it's Mystique is changing like into like a bunch of different people like back to back to back, and she like becomes Deadpool at one point and then just like morphs into somebody else.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So there were 2 trailers released during the main MCU panel. These are the next 2. Disney Plus show is She-Hulk, Attorney at Law,
and all right, sorry, continue. I don't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're good.
I'll say it after.
And the Black Panther sequel, Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 trailers.
And I have yet to watch the trailers, so we're gonna watch She-Hulk really quick.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna pause this recording and watch the trailers.
Nightwing.
Nightwing.
Wait, who was that?
Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck. If Daredevil's in it and Abomination, I am excited.
I know. I
cool.
think she seems like a good character.
Yeah. I will say, this is just me personally, I like the idea of Hulk being like this menacing thing that's just like...
I
not like
agree.
this like...
I don't like the Professor Hulk. I like the like animalistic, pure rage Hulk.
Yeah, like it's a total different being. And like, but it's that's not the type of show it is. So like, even though it's not what I want, it looks good. Daredevil is cool.
And if you watch the trailer like frame by frame of Daredevil flipping in, it's the yellow costume, like
really?
Original.
Damn.
So I don't know how that's gonna look in live action because the red just is so iconic and cool.
Daredevil yellow is pretty cool though.
Daredevil yellow is cool. But
I do like Daredevil. Have you ever read the Frank Miller ones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are so good.
I haven't read the entire run, but I've read like I've read Born Again. Good too.
I think I read Born Again too. It was either like The Death of Daredevil or Born Again.
Mm-hmm. Born Again, and
was it the one with like the reporter?
Yeah, Ben Urich.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
And Karen Page is addicted to heroin, and she's a porn star.
yeah.
But and then Man Without Fear, is I've also read that's the like origin story. Like Frank Miller gave him the year 1 treatment. That one's also really good. But yeah, interesting that the yellow costume is going to be in it.
Yeah. What about it?
I don't know. They were saying there are going to be a lot of fourth wall breaks because there is she does do that in some of the comics. Like I guess there's a run where she like comes out of the comics and like interacts with the editor and stuff. So like
interesting.
It is part of her character, but I don't know how successful it usually doesn't work out.
Yeah, if the jokes don't hit, it's just going to kind of be cringy. All right, now to watch the Black Panther trailer.
All right, that was the Black Panther 2 trailer.
I'm more excited for She-Hulk.
I'm way more excited for She-Hulk.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what I feel like... All right, well, there's this fucking limitation breeds creativity, right? So maybe it will be something totally different and just be sick, but I feel like there's the roadblocks to get to this movie.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the passing of I can't think of his name. What the hell? I'm just drawing a blank. Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, I agree. There's
he was a good Black Panther.
He was a great Black Panther.
Yeah, that is sad.
It's very sad.
So do you think they're gonna make the main girl?
So Shuri does become Black Panther in the comics when T'Challa dies, or also another option could be M'Baku could be the next Black Panther. I think it's.
Do you know anything about the story, like who they were fighting in the trailer at all?
So I think Namor is going to be the villain for a little bit, but then he's going to be like...
It looked like something Namor related, yeah.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see Namor. That's probably what I'm most excited about.
I would love to see that, because he's such an iconic character.
And he's the first mutant.
Yeah, was he really? I did not know that.
Well, actually, technically Apocalypse was the first mutant.
Yeah.
But Namor is also considered to be the first mutant.
Neat.
And then Ironheart is also supposed to be introduced in this movie.
Who's Ironheart?
It's Riri Williams. She's kind of like Iron Man, but a girl, you know? Like, she's going to be the Iron Man replacement, I think.
I see. Okay.
We'll get into it, but she is getting her own show, so this movie is setting her up.
Did they announce that?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So there were no more trailers. So they announced that they basically announced the entire slate going to the end of Phase 6.
Uh-huh.
So they said Phase 4 is going to end right here with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And then Phase 5 is going to begin with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Okay.
They released a poster of that with Ant-Man, the Wasp, and then his daughter has a purple Ant-Man suit, and then Kang is in the background with his like blue like get up in the classic Kang.
Gotcha.
Because Kang appeared at the end of the Loki season.
Really?
Season 1, yeah, but it was just like a variant of Kang.
There's so much shit to be caught up on now.
There is.
That you just like fly over your head.
But so they also said that this isn't actually going to be the real Kang in this movie. Like, they're just, the villain is another variant of Kang, but he has his like classic comic book look on the poster.
Okay.
So that's the beginning of Phase 5. The next show is a Secret Invasion show. Focus on Nick Fury and the Skrulls, which could be really interesting. What's different here, have you read Secret Invasion, the books? Basically, they find out that, like, because you know the Skrulls can shapeshift.
No.
I
don't know the Skrulls.
Okay, so the Skrulls are like a race of shapeshifters, basically.
Oh, the Skrulls.
Yeah, the Skrulls.
I thought you meant like scrolls, like the paper that you open up. Yeah, I know the Skrulls.
Yeah. The Skrulls. So in the comics, the Secret Invasion book was that they found out.
I was like fucking Skrulls that can transform. Like, what the hell?
So they found out that like a bunch of the heroes were like had been Skrulls in disguise. So like you find out basically
wasn't
that
the Skrulls in Captain Marvel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what's different here is that like in comic books the Skrulls are like traditionally evil, but in the MCU they're like kind of good.
Really?
Yeah, they're
really evil.
They're really evil in the books, but in Captain Marvel they're good. And remember the Spider-Man 2 end credit scene? Like, Ben Mendelsohn was actually Nick Fury. Like, the Nick Fury that was in Spider-Man Far From Home was just a Skrull the whole time. So that's what we're getting here is a Secret Invasion show.
Okay.
Could be cool. Then Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Do you think it's going to be like Peacemaker? Because that's an invasion show.
True. I don't know. Well, James Gunn isn't behind this one.
Peacemaker was good. You watched
Peacemaker
it, right?
was good.
Yeah. It was surprisingly really enjoyed. James Gunn is a good director.
James Gunn is very good.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. What else do we have?
Guardians 3. James Gunn did say that
he would do 3?
Yeah. The Disney came like uncanceled him basically.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, he did write and direct Guardians 3. He said like this is the end of this Guardians team basically. Like this is the wrap up of all their stories.
Okay.
And because there was some interview with him and it was like, oh, are you like thinking about what the next Guardians team is gonna be? And he's like, nope, I'm just focused on this team and wrapping up all their stories. Yeah. So
you know what game looks pretty good actually, not combat wise or anything, with the Guardians game.
Oh, I have heard that that's a good game.
Atmosphere and story wise, it looks like pretty spot on, but the gameplay looks kind of boring. It's like your run of the mill. Mm-hmm. It's funny that it's like Batman, the Arkham games become like the basis.
Yeah.
But then they're dumbed down as you go on.
I agree. So the next thing is a show called Echo. So Echo is a character that appeared in the Hawkeye show on Disney Plus. And it turned out that she was raised and trained by the Kingpin. And the Vincent D'Onofrio comes back as the Kingpin in the Hawkeye show.
Cool.
And so they confirmed that Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be back as the Kingpin. Charlie Cox's Daredevil is going to be in this show. So that's why it's exciting. Then the next is a movie The Marvels, which is the Captain Marvel sequel. Miss Marvel and her name is Photon from WandaVision. They're all three like Captain Marvels. Like Photon is Captain Marvel at one point in the comics. So
yeah, this is alien territory for me. These past couple ones.
And well, so what's going to be interesting about that, if you've seen Shang-Chi and
unfortunately. Actually, I will say the first fight,
bus scene.
Yeah, the bus scene was really sick. The minute I saw that, I was like, "No way! Is this a fucking kung fu superhero movie?" And I was really excited. And then all the other things were just Marvel, like. He had the Dragon Ball spell and he didn't use it. He had the Dragon Ball fireball and he didn't shoot it off. I remember I was so pissed off. I was like, you really did that, and he didn't shoot it at the end. He literally could have had the Ryu fireball. It would have been awesome.
And then they just fight the big CGI monster.
Yeah.
Well, so the recent Miss Marvel show has kind of explored a little bit more on like the lore, I guess, of like, when the people are like, we came from another dimension, It's kind of like they expand on that. The villains, I feel like, are from the same thing, and where Miss Marvel gets her powers is from the like a bangle that they found near the 10 Rings logo. So like she's gonna be related to Shang-Chi, I think. Like I bet Shang-Chi appears in this the Marvels movie, and maybe we get some Eternals stuff too with the Celestials, which I honestly hope we get. Like I want some more lore on the Celestials.
Where was the Eternals? Was that on Disney Plus? Or...
That was a movie.
Or wait, no. What am I thinking of? Inhumans.
Yeah. So Inhumans was originally going to be a movie, and it
sucked so hard that they're like.
Well, it was something. It was something that like Kevin Feige didn't even want to do. It was like a push from the Disney CEO at the time. I can't recall his name off the top of my head, but he was like notoriously bad. He was pushing the Inhumans because they were like, we don't have the X-Men, let's have the Inhumans as our version of the mutants. And then it ended up not being a movie, and then it just like became a show, and it was terrible.
Cool.
Yeah, so
it was cool that Black Adam was in Fantastic Four though. Or not Black Adam, no, it is
Black Bolt in Doctor Strange.
That was cool.
Yeah. So then Loki Season 2 comes out after that.
Do I need to watch it?
It's probably the best Disney Plus show so far.
All right, but do I need to watch?
There's some really cool stuff about like the multiverse and stuff, because like basically what happens is, how in Endgame, when they're like trying to steal all the Infinity Stones across time, and then Loki picks up the Tesseract and like teleports away. Yeah. So then the show opens with him getting stopped by this organization called the Time Variance Authority. And their whole thing is that like they keep the sacred timeline, basically. Like there's one timeline, and if there's like a variation on it, then they like go take him out. So like that's Loki. He's like a variant that it skewed from the timeline, but then throughout the course
I'll say the trailers, that's legitimately the only, and She-Hulk for that matter, that and She-Hulk are the only two Marvel shows that I feel like I actually would watch. Well, I just can't get it. Like that's too much. It's too much of a commitment for me.
Well, it's so much content too. Like so far, just Phase 4 has been more hours of content than the entirety of 1-2, like the entire Infinity Saga. Like that's like what, 24 movies, 22 movies.
That's actually crazy. I didn't know that.
40 hours ish, but then all of Phase 4, if you include all the TV shows, it's like 55 hours of content. So like,
sheesh. Okay. Yeah.
So all of Phase 4 has been longer than the entire Infinity Saga so far.
Cool.
So yeah, it is a lot of content that can seem overwhelming.
2 days. It's more than 2 days of watching shit.
And
not a lot of good shit.
Yeah, a lot of it is pretty mid.
Yeah.
But yes, I would say Loki is worth watching.
It's still kind of on my list. I might watch it. If they're making a season 2, there's probably a better chance I will.
And then the next show is Ironheart, which we mentioned previously when we were talking about the Black Panther trailer.
know very little about the comics, but I have seen like art from it with her. So I do, yeah.
Riri
People
Williams.
like her. People like her character.
I think so.
I think so too.
Mm-hmm. And the next movie is Blade.
Yo.
That will be awesome.
Yo. Blade is so underrated.
Blade is going to be really good.
I think I've watched Blade 2 like 8 times maybe. I love that movie.
And I think
Guillermo del Toro.
That movie is awesome.
I feel like I couldn't match up because you got such like the original Blades are pretty wacky. I don't think it's gonna be like that. I love those movies.
The first one is also really good with like the vampire rave at the beginning.
Yeah.
That movie is awesome. So yeah, the Black Knight is gonna be in it, played by who's the guy that's Jon Snow?
Oh,
I
used to, Kit
Harington, something like that.
Yeah, I think
but
that sounds right.
He's gonna be the Black Knight in it. He was introduced in the Eternals, and the Black Knight is a really cool character too.
Okay,
so it's like he has like this sword that like every time he kills someone, like his bloodlust gets stronger.
Interesting.
So I think that will be a really cool character.
He's kind of like Morbius.
Like it's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time.
The next thing is called, it's a show, Agatha, Coven of Chaos. Agatha Harkness was introduced in the WandaVision show.
Okay.
And they're giving her her own
There's
thing.
a lot. It's crazy how much. I wonder if part of like I wouldn't say it's falling, but you know, like the larger appeal of the Marvel universe has like lessened.
There's so much. It's just so much.
It's so much. Also,
there's so
I feel
much
like
fatigue.
They've done so many characters where people know them at least a little bit. These past ones, I've been completely just alien to me.
Well, so in the comics, Agatha Harkness is basically like who teaches Scarlet Witch like how to use her powers and stuff.
Interesting.
And she was kind of the main villain of the WandaVision show.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not too excited about that one, but I'm a completionist for the MCU, so I'm gonna watch it. And then, so here's an untitled film, which they're just an open slot, and we can talk about, there's a couple more untitled films in here that I want to address at the end. So then the next is a show called Daredevil Born Again.
Okay.
So
you kept it hidden from me, Cameron.
I did.
Damn, I didn't know that. That's exciting.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is I don't really think this is going to be an adaptation of the Born Again story.
It's gonna be an adaptation of Ben Affleck's movie.
That would be so good. Well, actually, going back to that, apparently Bullseye is supposed to be in the She-Hulk show as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be the Bullseye from the Netflix series. But that's
right. I forgot he was in the Netflix series too.
Yeah, so they were also saying that like Charlie Cox's Daredevil, when they introduce him in She-Hulk and I think this Echo show, his whole thing is that he's gonna be like looking for Jessica Jones, is what like the rumors are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Jessica Jones still like? I thought they cut off the.
So they haven't.
What the heck was their team name called?
The Defenders.
The Defenders. I thought they cut off the Defenders after the Defenders ended, except for Daredevil, because everybody still loves Daredevil.
Well, Daredevil got a season 3 and Jessica Jones got a season 3.
Did you watch season 2
of Daredevil?
Of Jessica Jones?
Mm-mm.
I didn't either.
No, I do want to watch it though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think this Daredevil Born Again show is going to be an adaptation of the story because season 3 of the Netflix Daredevil show was more of the Born Again adaptation.
Oh, okay.
I think it's more of Daredevil Born Again in the sense that like he's going to be in the MCU, like,
yeah,
you know.
Checks out.
So yeah, very excited for anything Daredevil.
Cool.
Then the next is Captain America New World Order. I have no idea what, like, it's going to be Sam Wilson, Captain America. Probably Winter Soldier is going to be in it, but I'm not really sure. I don't even know if there's any Captain America stories called New World Order.
Yeah.
Like, it could be anything.
Could be anything.
Might be cool. The director, I think, is a pretty ass choice, though.
Who?
It's the same guy who did the Cloverfield Paradox for Netflix.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
which we watch Cloverfield.
Yeah, we will be watching.
We will be watching Cloverfield.
So then, to end Phase 5.
Was that all right? Just really quick. Is that our first movie that we're doing?
Yeah.
So the next episode, we're watching Cloverfield. All right.
Yeah.
That'll be the content of the next one.
We can say that at the end.
Yeah.
We'll if you don't know what we're talking about, we'll explain later.
Yeah.
So we're rounding out Phase 5 with a Thunderbolts movie.
Interesting.
Which is, do you know the Thunderbolts?
Nope.
They're basically like the Dark Avengers, basically. So in the comics, when,
like anti-hero Avengers or evil Avengers?
Well, so I don't know what exactly it's going to be. Well, I can give you my prediction of what it's going to be like in the movie. But in the comics, Dark Reign, when Norman Osborn becomes the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he's like Iron Patriot,
and then he has
a little bit.
Venom and shit
Right,
on the team.
that's the Thunderbolts.
Okay, gotcha.
Where like Venom is trying to be Spider-Man. There's just like evil versions of all the Avengers, right? Yeah. So far in Phase 4, they've been setting it up with U.S. Agent was the villain in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think Black Widow's sister is going to be in it as one of them. Like, maybe Abomination?
Did they not say anything about anything Spider-Man?
Well, that's one of the things I want to talk about at the end with the Untitled films. Like, so far in all of these announcements, there was nothing Spider-Man, nothing X-Men.
Interesting.
Which I'm very surprised.
They teased Venom.
Yeah, there's a Venom symbiote in there.
You know how exciting that is? It's like, oh my god, it's going to be Venom, and it's not going to be Tom Holland. Or not Tom Holland, Tom Hardy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, there's been seeds planted of it right now for the Dark Avengers, and it's going to be Contessa or Madam Hydra as like the Nick Fury that brings them all together. Okay. So that'll be the end of Phase 5. That'll be the sort of crossover, I guess.
Is Nick Fury dead? No, he's not
No.
dead.
He's going to be in Secret Invasion.
That's right. Yeah, I just remember that. I just remember him dying at least 7 times in the MCU.
Yeah, he's died a lot. And then the beginning of Phase 6 is Fantastic Four.
Cool.
My theory, okay. Kevin Feige came out and said that John Krasinski might not necessarily play Mr. Fantastic. The reason he was in Doctor Strange was just kind of like fan casting, Yeah. If there are infinite universes, right? Like, he's going to be Mr. Fantastic in one of them. So
I hope that movie's good. We need a good
Fantastic Four.
And I think, like, I've talked to you about this before, but I don't think they should have Doctor Doom in the first movie.
Really?
I think they should, like, build him up.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he's fucking Doctor Doom, bro. He's crazy powerful.
Yeah. Well, maybe they build him up through Phase 5 and the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Because, so then the next is another Untitled film, and then we get an Avengers movie called The Kang Dynasty.
Interesting.
So that will be interesting. And then another Untitled film, and then another Avengers movie. We're getting 2 Avengers movies in the same year called Secret Wars.
Oh, okay.
So if they go with the recent Secret Wars, Doctor Doom could be the villain with Kang.
That would be sweet.
So yeah. And then they ended this by saying that this is going to be the end of the next like saga, the first 3 phases were the Infinity Saga, and this is going to be the multiverse saga.
Cool.
So I think Secret Wars and the Kang Dynasty is where they go all out with all the like cameos of all the people that have been in Marvel movies. Like,
damn, okay.
I just want Ben Affleck, Daredevil to be in there, and Nick Cage Ghost Rider.
Oh yeah, that would actually be kind of
so crazy. Happy.
Yeah.
Do you think that Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans come back for this multiverse saga?
Maybe.
If the paycheck is big enough.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they both had such a good send-off.
I agree. It would feel...
I feel like even they have to know that, like...
I don't know. It's Disney.
Yeah, good point.
It could be just, like, different versions of them from across the multiverse.
True.
So, I feel like the Untitled films have to be an X-Men movie and a Spider-Man movie.
Spider-Man.
Because Amy Pascal already confirmed that they were getting ready to do the next Spider-Man trilogy with Tom Holland. So, and Kevin Feige. So
the next Spider-Man trilogy?
Yeah,
because this was the third one, this last one. So they're going to do 3 more.
Yeah, I think they're going to do 3 more with Tom Holland, and then I bet they phase him out and bring in a live-action Miles Morales. That's what I think they're going to do.
They already have such a good Miles Morales in the Spider-Verse, though, which
that movie
hard.
is going to be awesome.
Yeah, that first one was incredible.
But yeah, so
that was like one of the first... one of my friends said it, and I was like, yeah, it's a good description. It was like, it was the first time he's watched a superhero movie in the longest time where he was like, I want to be a fucking superhero.
That's a good point. That was such a good movie. I'm so excited for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's it. That was the Comic-Con.
Comic-Con 2022.
Yep.
Good shit.
So for everybody that's listening, we will be talking about horror movies for our next 6 episodes. And what will we be starting with?
Cloverfield.
Like we mentioned a little bit earlier. But so yeah, next time we'll be talking about the movie Cloverfield.
Sweet. Thanks for listening in.
Yep, thanks for listening.